Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the Joyetech eGo ONE Starter Kit from CigaBuy, so stay tuned. This is an absolutely incredible small compact device. CigaBuy sent me this for review, and you can get one with the link I provide below for the unbelievable low price of $42.39. There's different versions, so you got to keep that in mind when looking at the prices, because there's a smaller battery version and there's a larger battery version, and we'll talk about that. But essentially, this device can be a good fit for a very broad range of people. It's great for someone who is starting. As a matter of fact, it is incredible for someone who is just starting, because this little device creates an enormous amount of vapor, awesome flavor, and some pretty good flexibility while keeping everything simple, so it's not kind of scary and overwhelming for the new vapor or somebody crossing over from analog cigarettes into vaping. So it's petite, it's powerful, and it's for everyone. So let's take a close look. This is the box you'll receive when you order it from CigaBuy. I'm going to put this aside and we'll go through everything that you get with this here in a moment. Here's the e-cig. And when I say that this is for everybody, one of the things that makes that statement that much more important is that this is for both people who like to do the lung, you know, just breathe in, fill in your lungs, a direct lung inhale, or a mouth to lung where you just suck it into your mouth and then you suck it in. There's two different atomizers that you could put into the tank, one for the mouth to lung and one for the lung, direct lung inhale. So again, very flexible device, although everything is kept very simplistic. Now, the way that you activate this device is there is the power button. So what you want to do is just hit that 5 times and it will give you that blinky little thing right there, and now you can vape. And you can hear that firing, so that's your fire button, that's your on-off button. This device uses standard 510 threads. I'll go ahead and take the tank off here so you can see that. And you can see there's air channels right here, so if you do decide to put a different device on here, you do have those air channels. Now, this is not a standard 22 millimeter type device. It is 19 millimeters, so if you do decide to put a different tank on there for some reason, which I wouldn't understand because this tank is so incredible, you want to keep things small so it, you know, it's not looking kind of weird. You don't want to walk around with a weird looking e-cig, do you? Another feature is it has a pass-through function, so you can see that there's a charging port, micro USB right there on the bottom with a little light indicator on the side of it. Kind of a little bit hard to see, especially when your camera's not in focus, but you can see there's a little dot right there, and when you're charging, that light is an indicator where your battery is as far as charging. But you can go ahead and plug your USB plug in there and vape and use it as a pass-through while it's charging, so you have that functionality. There's also a 15-second cutoff for safety, and you also have the short circuit protection. So let's go ahead and go over everything that you get in the box. I'm going to go ahead and just put this aside here. So you do get all this, and I already have one of the tips. When you get this device, it does not have the tip on it when you pull it out of the box. It's sort of separate right there. And that's where your e-cig would have been right there. And you just sort of pull that up. And we get our manual. I'm just going to throw everything out of here because my videos are so long already. You get a warranty card. You get a very in-depth manual. I mean, this might be one of the thickest manuals I've ever seen for a simple device, and it's because it has all the different languages, which is really good. We're catering to everybody. So let's see. Also in the box, you get a open this up. And of course, alright, what's the trick? And I don't want to tear this open, but I know there's like sticky something somewhere. There we go. So let's see what we get in here. You get a atomizer. Now you get two different atomizers. Like I said, they give you one for mouth to lung and then another one for just direct lung inhale. So you get one of the atomizers, which are the 0.5 ohm, which has a bigger hole in it, which allows more air through. So that's your lung hitting one. And then you get a 1 ohm one that has a smaller air hole in it, so that caters to the mouth to lung hit. Now I'm not sure which one came installed or not. What I'll do is we'll go ahead and open this up, tank up, and take a look in there here, and we'll see which one came installed, so you'll know. You can see there's two different tips. And juice is all over the place. By the way, when you get this, it does not come pre-used like this is. But I've been vaping on this for a week, and I gotta say, it's an incredible device. But you get two different tips. You get a glass tip. It almost feels plastic, but it's organic glass. And then you get this tip, which is sort of the outside is like a chrome or metal, but the inside is all plastic, and it's an insulator, so it doesn't burn your mouth. So you have the choice of either using the thermal insulated tip or the organic glass tip. And I've opted to use the glass tip over the last week. Other things that we get, I already showed you, no I didn't. You get a USB cable right there. And oh, look at this, a European. If I decide to travel to Europe, now I got a European thing. Now, I asked CigaBuy about this, and they said if you're in the U.S., they'll give you the. They said either they'll give you the 110 converter, or they'll give you a converter or something like that. But you won't be left with just this option. But most people, especially ones that are already in the vaping, will already have a USB charger for wherever they are. So actually, I kind of like that. I got a European one, so if I ever decide to travel, like if someone wants to pay for me to come over there and go to a show, I'm set to go. That's a subtle hint. I would love to go back to Europe. I had gone to Europe while I was in the Navy. Visited Spain and Italy and all kinds of places. Anyway, I digress. This also comes in many colors, by the way. So if you don't like the silver, or you're just tired of all the silver ones, they have red, blue, black, white, and a light blue color. So let's go ahead, instead of just talking about specs, actually take a look down in here in this tank. I'm going to go ahead and fill it up just a little bit, but before we open up, you can see there's an adjustable airflow right there, and it's on both sides. And so this tank could really cater to so many different people. And I'm going to fill this up, but before we do, I want to take a look and see what atomizer is on here. And I'm trying to see. I don't know. For the love, I'm going to have to take this out. And okay, this looks like the 1 ohm. So this is the one with the smaller hole. Normal way, the tank area where you got to put the juice is actually a lot thinner. The hole, the post in the middle, you don't want to put juice down the middle. And this one actually, you have to be a little more careful than your normal tank. But it holds a surprisingly large amount of juice down in there. And I know I put this in my notes for the love Petite. Well, let's go ahead and add this real quick while I try to look it up. I actually can't do two things at once, but we'll go ahead and load this up. But I think it was 3 point something milliliters. I'm going to go ahead and try to look it up, but I'm going to top things off here really quick. Just like that. I could probably get more in there, but we'll do that here later. So let me see. I know I put how much juice goes into this tank somewhere. You know what I'm going to do? Instead of wasting your time, I'm going to go ahead and, there we go, I'm sorry. For the tank, this is the larger tank. You get two different tanks, and they sent me the larger tank. This holds 2.5 milliliters of juice. The smaller tank holds 1.8 milliliters. Did I say liters? I meant milliliters on both ends there. 1.8 or 2.5. Again, the kit that they sent me has the larger tank with the larger battery. Now, the battery, here's the battery. This is the larger battery, which is 2200 milliamp hours, or 2200, however you want to look at it. So this is the larger battery. They also have a smaller battery, probably about that short, which is 1100 milliamp hours. And I'll throw a picture up here real quick where you can see a comparison of the batteries. So if you have the smaller two together, you actually have a very compact, tiny device. Even though the larger options, as you see here, are still relatively small. And we'll go ahead. One thing to note, I do want to make a point here. When you open this up, because this happened to me, so I don't want it to happen to you. When you open your tank up, sometimes the head might get a little loose, so go ahead and tighten that up. See, it was a little bit unscrewed there. Make sure you tighten it back up before you close everything up, because when you unscrew it, sometimes it will unscrew the head a little bit. That happened to me once. So, and then all of a sudden you put this together and it doesn't fire. And so there you go. There's your tip of the day when using the Joyetech eGo ONE. Alright, so I'm going to put this all together, and I'm going to meet you back topside where we can go ahead and try this out. Now, a couple of things I didn't cover is around this fire button there's a light, and it's kind of hard to see there, but that light gives you an indicator of battery life. So it stays lit. When you're pressing it, it stays lit where it's white all the way around, and that will be an indicator that your battery's between 60 and 100% good to go. When it gets down to between 30% and 59%, it will sort of flash slowly. And when you get down to 10 to 29%, it gives you moderate flashes. And when you go from 0 to 9%, it flashes even more frequently. Other indicators, I showed you the light by the USB port, micro USB here on the bottom. The battery light flashes red when it's charging, or when you connect it to the USB cable to your charger, and it says it goes out in 5 seconds when it's fully charged. So I guess the light just goes out. It takes approximately 2.5 hours to charge. Of course, your mileage will vary depending on where your battery is and how old it is, and if you're using a different charger. You know the deal with this stuff. So, I want to vape this. This is the 1 ohm coil, as I showed you, with the more constricted hole, meant for the mouth to lung type of hits. So I'm really not doing this justice. It will do even more vapor than I'm about to demonstrate for you. Wow. Not only does this produce an enormous amount of vapor for the size of the device and what it is, but the flavor is pretty incredible. They did a really good job with this tank. As a matter of fact, this tank looks a little familiar, don't it? It looks a little bit like the Delta 2, which, by the way, I have coming up in a review very soon, that I also was sent from CigaBuy. So again, thank you, CigaBuy, for sending me these awesome products. I have something good to compare it to. I had recently picked up a Joyetech e-grip, and I did a review on this already, and I just wanted to show you how this larger version of the eGo one sort of looks in comparison, because I think they sort of fall into the same category. Like if you're looking for a small device to carry around, and again, this is not the small version. I'm saying that over and over again because I want to make sure you understand that. But you know, it would make a great stealth device or an EDC, everyday carry type of device, for even the professional vapor or the person who's been vaping for a very long time. But it's also good for the starter. It's also good for people who like mouth to lung hits. It's also good for people who like straight up lung hits. It really does cater to everybody, and the build quality is impeccable. I really like it. I hope I'm conveying this. I really like this device. There's very few. I just want to make a difference between products that I review and I like, and the products I review that I really like. And this is in that really, really good category. Highly recommended. I'm going to do one more vape here before we wrap things up. Let me... By the way, I was always told to let you know what I'm vaping. I am vaping Enter the Dragon by Gemini. Very, very good. I like it. It's kind of a fruit type of taste to it. And this is zero nicotine, which is what I vape most of the time. Pros for this device: it's solid build quality, it works perfect, it's simple to use, and it's great for everybody. Cons is it is fixed power, but again, that's because it's made simple to cater to people who are, you know, crossing over from the smaller e-cigs to something really good. So I think they nailed it. I honestly do. I think Joyetech nailed it. I think CigaBuy has an outstanding price. Again, the link to purchase this is provided below in the description box. Thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.